Okay, in this lesson we're going to be looking at importing and manipulating sound effects. It's really important to synchronize the sound effects to the film and making sure that you get the appropriate sound effect that you need. This can take quite a bit of time, but it's worth searching for the right one. One of the main tools that I use is a free site called freesound.org. As the name suggests, everything is free on here. Everything is Creative Commons license, which means it's free to use in any kind of project. And it's fairly simple. All you do is come to freesound.org and sign up for an account. I'm already logged into mine, but the process is fairly simple. Okay, once you've done that, you're just going to do a little search for the sounds. Now, one of the ones I need for Syntel is birds flying. So all I've done is I've typed in birds flying into the search engine, and then it's come up with a load of queries. Next to each visual, you get this little play button where you can actually demo before you download. So you demo it. Not really what I want, so I press stop and I move on until I find one that I want. Once you find one that you want, you can just click on the link and then make it, as long as you're logged in, you'll get this little download button and you just download it. All of my downloads have gone to my downloads folder, which I've called sound effects. Here's one I've downloaded earlier. Now, getting them into Logic is really simple. From the folder, just drag and drop. So the first one I want is this file. I'm going to synchronize this file. So click it, drag, and I'm dragging it to an open space. I'm not dragging it onto one of my earlier files. If you do this onto a MIDI file, it just won't work, it won't play. So what you need to do is come right down the bottom and drag it to a free space or an audio file that's already set up for you. It's really important to note also that not all sound files will work with Logic. The ones that it tends to prefer are MP3s, .wavs, which is what I've got here, and .aifs. Okay, so let's come into Logic now, drag that in, and we're going to press play. Now, as you can see, that's almost 100% right. I just need to cut it up to the beginning of that clip. And actually that lead in was just right. So all I'm going to do is come here, hover over this end and trim the clip. Okay, and then we'll do the same with the other end. Okay, and that's just slightly too far. I'm just going to move it back. I'm going to have a little bit of crossover, and I can trim it further later on. Okay, so there's the first sound effect. So now all we're going to do is go to freesound.org and you're going to download all the sound effects that you need. So you might want to make a long list of all the sound effects that are in your video trailer and go and find the right ones, download them, trial them out, and download different ones if you need to. Okay, at this point you're probably going to need to know how to duplicate things and loop. Here we have a little sticker tag. So if I just show you what we've got so far. Okay, as you can see I've got two copies of the same thing. So if I just delete that one, and that was just me selecting it and pressing the delete button. Now, if I wanted to loop this piece, rather than hovering over the bottom corner and getting this square bracket, I can hover over the top corner and I can get this little rounded bracket, and that's the loop tool. And if I click and drag now, you'll see that it will create continuous loop for me. Okay, so if you wanted a loop that was completely in time every single time, that's what you would do. However, if you wanted a completely different synchronization, you're going to need to do a duplication. There's a couple of ways of doing this. First is press the Alt key and click and drag and then place it where you want it. So let me show you that one again. So click Alt on the keypad, click and drag. Okay, the next way is to press Command CMD followed by C, and that's copy, and then wherever you put your playhead and make sure you've got the right track selected. So if I select this track, it will end up here, and then press CMD Command V, you'll see it goes there, and that's because I've got this track selected. So if I bring this playhead back again and click stick hit and press Command V, you see now it puts it in the right place, and then I can drag it around. Okay, so just a few ways of copying and duplicating and looping. Okay, let's take a quick look at automation. Automation is going to be really handy. What you've got with this first fire part is it's obviously too loud. So let me just play it to show you. Okay, so that's obviously too loud. One thing we can do is select the fire track, and we can come down to the fire channel. We can actually bring the volume down. That's one solution. And that works just fine. However, if you need something that's a bit more dynamic, something that varies a lot more, you're going to want to turn to automation. There are two ways of getting to the automation track. One is up here where it says automation, and you click on that and up pops the automation track. The second way is to press the A button on your keypad. Brings up the automation track, the same automation. Okay, it's already ready enabled, but if it's off, what we're going to do is we're just going to click on this line here, and it's going to produce a dot. This is the automation. What you should see is this volume slider will go up and down depending on this line. So if we put in a few dots here, it's really important to set the end point and the beginning point. That way if you make any mistakes, you've always got a reference to come back to. Okay, so let's just bring this one up. Up a little bit more in this one, so you should see audibly a difference in volume. Let's bring the video back up so we can see that in play as well. We could just do a bit more of that, so let's bring that right down. One more time. I'm going to do the same with the beginning. I'm going to bring the beginning down so it just gradually comes in. And that spike there actually needs to come down rather than go up. I'm just going to put another dot in there. It's important to note also this was a volume automation, but actually automation can be done with any parameter. And as we get into EQs and effects and panning, that will become more and more obvious. But just keep that in mind that automation is such a big part of what we do to create these variations in sound quality. Okay, thanks for watching this lesson. Remember, complete the tasks listed below before moving on to lesson 3.